All right, mic test 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to say welcome. Welcome to the viewers out there on Twitter or x.com. I see we've got a number of people watching on Twitter tonight. Actually, we have more there than we do on YouTube. So, if you run across us by accident, this is Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio, and we'll be starting in about 20 minutes or so. We're waiting for our other co-host to join us tonight. That's one of our projects tonight for the show. All right, this is an audio check. Audio check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Audio. I guess that's all right there. We'll say hello to Randy out there at KN6BZG. Who else we got? David's out there. Let's see. Hey, Randy, how you doing, man? Excuse me. We'll be starting the show in about 20 minutes. So, hey guys, if you have a Twitter account, send out a tweet. Send out a tweet about the show. In fact, if you got my tweet, or just go to W5KB, you'll find my tweet. You can just retweet it. But let's see if we can round up some new people on Twitter tonight. I need to turn my audio down a little. Let's see. All right, that ought to fix that problem. All right. Hello, KB2OIE. Glad to have you tonight. That's okay, David. Very good. Thank you. Hello, N0RIC. Glad to have you tonight. And here's John. Yeah, John's in there, K7, no, KC7DRI, boy. Guys, here's one of the pickups for one of the projects from the show. We're going to be building an RF amp meter. This is the pickup for it. Man, Twitter is tearing it up tonight. Man, we got 30 people on Twitter watching right now. A lot more than our own YouTube. Wow, that's amazing. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Yeah, that's Glenn's cobweb antenna right there. All right, if you've tuned in on X, you've tuned in to Amateur Radio Roundtable. It's the show about ham radio. We're going to get started in about 10 minutes. We'll get started. Still waiting on our co-host to join us. Glad you're on X. I'm surprised on X. We've got over 30 viewers right now on X watching, and that's a whole lot more than what we've got on the YouTube channel. So it seems like X is working out better. I don't know. Thanks for tuning in. We'll get the show started in a little while. So tonight we are simulcasting on both X and YouTube. Yeah, YouTube should be including the number watching through my site. My site actually, that's just an embedded video. You're actually looking at the YouTube site. I've just got the picture over on our website. So yeah, it should show. Hello, Rich, K9HVM Phoenix. Hey, Rich, if you want to change your name, if you want to change your name on here, all you have to do is just type // name space and then your new name, like your call or your name or whatever you want. So it's / name space and then whatever name you want. I'm sorry, I messed up. It's Nick / Nick. Boy, where have I been? Oh, gee. I've got a medical condition that I'll tell you all about it when the show starts. / Nick space and then your new name, whatever you want it to be. So, Rich, you could type in / Nick space Rich underscore K9HVM, and that's how you would be identified as. Rich says he's in Phoenix. Hmm. He says he's in Phoenix. Let's see. He's using a secure connection. That's good. His IP address is, I won't give that out. Hello, Andy, K5PO. Glad to have you, man. I think Andy's in Kentucky. Is that right? K5PO, Kentucky, maybe. Why do I think Kentucky? That don't sound. No, that's not right. That's not right. It's not right at all. Kentucky would be a 4. I think Andy's in Texas, maybe, or I don't know, Mississippi, maybe. I don't know. All right. Hello, Brett. Hello, hello. Oh, you're muted, Brett. I noticed.
Yeah.
I noticed. It looks like I got a completely different Zoom tonight. Does yours look different?
Um, I haven't updated, and so I don't know if there's a new one coming. I've refused updates right before I come on.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it didn't give me a choice. It just said I've been updated. It's different, man. All the buttons are different. The picture's different. Everything's different, man. So it
I'm
may be
not
it may be a
surprised.
learning experience tonight. You know.
Yeah, they force this sort of thing on you.
Yeah.
I'm
Let's
getting ready
see.
for the fourth. You can see behind me. I've got
Let me
got the
see.
screen for the got the screen for the 13 colonies contest.
Yeah. Let me see if I can change the view here. I've got to figure out. Let's see.
I can zoom
Let me.
myself
No,
out.
I think when Glenn comes on, things may come back. I've got a lot of my camera shots set up based on the gallery view or whatever you call it, or let's see,
Yeah.
gallery gallery. So let's see how there's Glenn right there. Let's see how it works when Glenn gets in here.
Okay, I'm putting myself in the middle in the middle
Yeah,
of the mod.
I'm gonna work on multi-speaker. I'm gonna work on trying to get you in here in a minute. Let's see if we get Glenn in. What happens here? All right, Glenn came in the right spot, and if I click there,
Now I'm gonna launch the Logitech utility. I have a Logitech. There's a Logitech gaming utility which gives me more control of the Logitech camera, and it's gonna change the moment I start it. It's gonna change there. This might put me back where your shot had me before.
where had you before? Let me think. Well, let's see.
I was running this last
Well, let me see. If I let me change to multi-speaker. Maybe is that where I was? Let's see, multi-speaker. I think. All right. Well,
Light.
well. I don't know. That didn't do it. Let's see. Go to gallery. No, that is gallery. Go to speaker. I don't want speaker. Okay, I'm just gonna. Okay, gallery's where I need to be. I think you're pretty much lined up there. Let me see. I'm gonna try. Okay, I'm gonna move you around just a little bit, not much. I'm gonna move you. Let's see. Crop border. Let's see.
I need a haircut. My hair's starting to stick out.
Okay, let's see. Right.
At least you still have hair.
Yeah. Right.
No,
Let's see
it's
left.
going. It's going.
I know the feeling well.
Oh yeah.
Well, we'll keep it like that. Yeah, that'll work. That'll work, and it works for Glenn. That works for Glenn, and let's see, it should work for the three of us, I think. There we go. Yeah, I'll work on that one in a minute. All right. All right. Very good. Well, I tell you, tonight X is outdoing YouTube 2-1 tonight.
Yeah. X is popular even after Elon tried to wreck it.
Yeah.
I have no HF capabilities.
What do you mean you have no HF?
They came and took my tower this weekend.
Oh, did they?
Ouch.
Well, I traded. They took my HF and 6 meter beams down, and I gave them the tower.
Ah.
You gave who the tower?
Well, because
Bobby.
you're moving, I assume.
Yes, I'm buying a crank up tilt over on the other end.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of Elon, hey, Elon wants to come in a minute.
Hello, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to join the show tonight. Roundtable is undoubtedly
Yeah,
the
there you
best ham and shortwave show on
Yeah,
YouTube.
but see that
Although I have a
failed
very busy
Chinese rocket
schedule, I
launch?
always
That was
watch
pretty
Amateur
amazing.
Radio Roundtable every
I haven't
Tuesday night
seen
on
much at all here the past
www.kub.com.
week.
Now,
Okay.
over to Tom.
Yeah, well, the Chinese were playing Elon Musk, and they were testing a rocket, and the rocket was supposed to stay stationary on the pad. They were just testing the engine. Well, I guess they messed up because it actually launched.
Yeah, they forgot to bolt it down, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Nope. All I have been doing is patching, painting, and packing all week.
Oh man. All right. Well.
But hey, it's only like 3 weeks to go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'm excited for you.
Yeah. The nice thing is once I get on the other end and, unpacking shouldn't be that big of a deal.
Uh-huh.
I don't have any other thing. I don't have these, monster house repairs and stuff to do,
Yeah.
so it'll be playtime.
All right. We got about 3 minutes here. Okay. Hey, tonight I put together I talked a little about the LC tuner project. I put together a LC tuner. We'll show it tonight. Hey, I found my RG63. Look at there, man. I found it, man.
That was funny.
That was funny, man. Hey, I can't believe it. That's $75 of RG63 right there, man.
Man.
When I bought it, it didn't cost that much, man. Hey, we got veteran pictures tonight. We got several veterans have sent their pictures in. And hey, guys, if you're listening out there right now on XR on YouTube, if you're a veteran, we're going to have a segment tonight on our ham radio viewers that are veterans, and we're going to show you a picture right here on the show tonight. So, if you haven't already sent your picture in, go ahead and go to our Facebook group, just W5KUB, and post your picture in the Facebook group, because in probably 20 minutes or so, we're going to be showing those pictures and talking about you. And you still got time to get it in there. Let's see. I talked to Martin yesterday. Had a good long talk with Martin. I called him, and hopefully we'll be getting Martin on the show here as a regular here. Maybe when things settle down a little bit. He is really busy right now. I'll give you an update on the selling of the company.
Wow.
We got some upcoming projects here. Oh man, let's see, several things going on. We got some Hamfests coming up here, so we got a lot going on. Anything special you've got, Brett, that you wanted to talk about tonight?
Well, I wanted to mention the event that I have posted behind me, because that's always a lot of fun. It's I like to try to get a clean sweep every year, and now they have 3 bonus stations besides just the 13.
Cool. That's cool. Glenn and I did one of those special things one time with the K6H, the last man standing. We were K6. Oh, Glenn, what were we K4H, K5H? I don't remember who we were. Glenn is muted. That's all right. All right.
Yeah. No, I don't remember.
It's about time for us to get started here. All right. I'll see Mark KE8HIW has joined us. Clifton's in there. He's in there. Hello, Clifton. Hello, Andy, K5PO. Andy's in Arkansas. I kind of knew that. Northwest Arkansas. I kind of knew that.
Gee, I'm moving close to him.
Yeah, you're moving over there. You know, Andy, I went to college over at Arkansas Tech over at Russellville. It's in the northwest over there, and I love that area. I went back for the Hamfest here a couple months ago. Let's see what else we got here. Andy, we got KE4GTQ join us. OKM join us. And boy, I'll see, got a lot going on. A lot of people join us here. All right. All right, I've got about 8 o'clock. I guess we can get started. So let's get this road on the show, as they say, down in Mississippi where Glenn is.
Well, Glenn won't be here much longer.
That's right. So we have to make use of those terms as much as we can before he leaves.
That's right. You only get so many.
That's right. Okay. All right, guys, stand by. All right, welcome everyone out there, whether you're listening on international shortwave or you're tuned in to YouTube or X.com. We welcome you tonight to Amateur Radio Roundtable. It's a show about ham radio, shortwave, electronics, and everything in between there. Got a great show, I think, for you tonight. Man, we got a lot of things listed here to talk about. First, in case we have a bad show tonight, I just want to let you know right now, I got a toothache. So if there's a problem, it's because of the toothache. Okay, just want you guys to know that before. I didn't want to say that after we had a bad show. Anyway. So I had a crown put on about 2 weeks ago.
What drugs are you on?
What?
What drugs are you on?
I'm not on any drug. I had a crown put on about 2 weeks ago. Very back bottom tooth here. Everything went fine. I thought, well, why am I hurting? And I thought, well, they had to cut an old crown off, and those crowns have metal in them. They have to grind through the metal and all that. And, sparks are flying, and they've got that water going on it, and they've got the suction going, and they're going to pop that sucker off. And the other thing I don't understand is how when you're laying down completely flat on your back, and they cut that tooth off back there, how it don't fall down your throat. That's what I asked. The dentist. He says, well, we got a good suction and whatever. Anyway. So, hey, I may have to contact my dentist and go back because I don't think it's normal. It may be trauma, from all that, chiseling and grinding and stuff. But
well, did they clamp a ground clamp to your ankle when they did this?
I didn't know. I took the shot. And they said, "Do you want gas?" And I said, "Man, yeah, that's what I came for. Give me the gas." I've only had gas twice. I had it last time I went, and it was pretty cool. I had them put it on, and I noticed my words started slurring and all that, And I thought, okay, let's try again. I think they're cheap. I think they're cutting back on the gas. I didn't feel any gas. I didn't feel any. I was really hoping to get a good buzz on the gas. I told the dentist when I came in, I was looking forward to this, to this appointment, and I wanted to take the magic carpet ride, but it didn't happen, man. Anyway, hey, last point. I bought some of that. What's that stuff you can buy at the pharmacy? You rub on a sore tooth, Oragel, I think.
Oragel, yeah.
Yeah, back in the day,
I've never used that before, but let me tell you something. I put a little right in there and a little back in there, and man, within 30 seconds, my mouth went dead. It came around into my lips. Man, it was just like I got a shot of Novocaine, man. So, woo. Anyway.
Back in the day, we got paregoric.
Well, yeah. I know what that is too. Well, anyway, hey guys. That's my excuse if the show goes bad, and especially if I bite myself inside there, you may hear me yell. I don't know. Okay, that's enough of that. Hey, tonight we're going to talk about Hamfest. Man, we got a bunch of Hamfests coming up. We got the LC Tuner project that we were kind of doing for the show. I've got a couple of them built here. We're going to show you. Hey, in our future one, I wanted to build that quad turnstile antenna. Hey, I found my RG63. This is special coax needed, for the phasing line, and everybody was out of it. I bought about 12 feet last time I built that antenna, and nobody had it this time. The only people that did have it, the cost was outrageous, man. They wanted for 10 feet, they wanted $75 for it. And anyway, I found it. I've got 6 feet here. I only need 49 inches for the phasing line. So, hey, we're doing good there. Talk a little about that later. We got our veteran pictures coming out. Veteran pictures coming out here in a little while. If you haven't posted your pictures, or your veteran pictures, post them on W5KUB Facebook group, because we're going to run those pictures tonight and talk about it. Maybe we'll have some funny pictures. I don't know. We'll have some good pictures. I'm going to talk about a little project I got into, yesterday? Yesterday, the day before, out in the heat. Oh, man, was it hot.
Yes.
I'm going to talk about that. It has to do with digging. Okay. I'll talk a little about and give you guys an update. I had a long talk with Martin G. We're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about upcoming projects. And I got a 49-1 and 64-1 ballot coming in. And we're going to talk a little about that and what I'm going to do with that. So let's go around the room here, and we'll just take Glenn first. Glenn, I know you're busy trying to get your house ready. You're moving.
Yes, sir. Still on track to move at the end of the month. The tower and the cobweb came down over the weekend. So I've got all my beams and metal on the ground and disassembled and ready to go. But the tower is gave it to the guy that took it down, because I'm hoping to put a crank up tilt over at the new home. So not going to need it. No reason to move it. And just packing and painting and patching holes in walls. And man, I've lived in this house for like 27 years. So you can imagine.
You got a lot of patching to do.
It's just the amount of work, the amount of junk related. You know, you're talking about Hamfest. I have got to go to the Nashville Hamfest. In fact, I booked me because I am doing my best to clear out all of my stuff. So y'all going to the Nashville Hamfest? At my table, everything must go. Take it, please.
All right. And if it don't, what are you going to do with it?
It's going to end up going to Conway with me, and it's going to keep going to Hamfest until it does.
Oh, boy. All right. All right. Well,
that about Hamfest. The best way to do a Hamfest is to go ahead and rent you a table, because now you've got a guaranteed seat during the entire event and during the raffle drawing and stuff. So, yeah, absolutely get a table.
Well, hey, we're going to try to be there. I think we're going the night before. I can't do like you. I can't get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and leave, man.
I don't have much choice right now, man.
Oh, gee. Well, I think we're going, and it's a bit the night before. But
yeah.
And that way, hey, I can leave early if I want to. I may leave at noon, Saturday. I don't know. It depends on how well things are going there. All right. Well, hey, I'm glad you're getting your tower and everything down, your antennas down. Hey, are your movie company, are they going to pack everything for you, or are you packing it?
No, I chose to pack it to save time and money.
Yeah.
Plus I'm planning to take a bunch of loads over ahead of time. So this way I'm able to organize it and sort it out. And it will make the move go that much faster.
Wow.
Because they're talking about coming, loading, and unloading in one day.
Yeah. Well, we've moved a few times over the years, and we've boxed stuff too. That's a lot of work, man. I feel sorry for you, but you'll make it.
Gonna let them pack up the rigs here? Not happening.
Yeah. Well,
stuff like so, and of course they're not packing up the cats either. So I'm gonna have to pack them up and haul them over.
Yeah. Well, look, if you take one of your cats outside, he's got a collar on. I mean, don't tie him to your back bumper.
Right.
You may forget about it. You got so much going on, you may forget about it.
Yeah. No, they actually have their own travel cage in the back of the car, so they're good.
All right. Well, that's cool. That's cool.
I actually have a kind of like a little bus driver's mirror on my sun visor, so I can actually see them.
Oh, okay.
In the back there.
You can see them if they get in a fight or anything. You ever turn around? You ever turn around and look at those cats and say, "If y'all don't stop that right now, I'm gonna turn this car around and go back home"?
Actually, no. They all travel very well. They normally the girls just hunker down, and the boy wants to be out in my lap.
All right.
He loves traveling.
All right. Let's jump over and see what Brett's doing. Hey, Brett, what have you been up to, man?
Oh, well, let's see. I've been working on antennas, again, with the good weather. In between the lightning storms, because this time of year in Laramie, we get beautiful mornings, and in the afternoon sometimes there is a raging thunderstorm. It's definitely not as hot here as it is in Tennessee, though, or or anywhere near there. Our high today was was close to 80. But didn't even really hit 80, so we're doing pretty well there. I'm getting ready for the 4th of July. I'm going to have a booth at the big party that the city of Laramie has every year in the park, which is called Freedom Has a Birthday. And so I'm preparing a pavilion, a table, got to get some concrete blocks to weight down the pavilion because there probably is going to be a storm rolling through. So I've been real busy with that. There's going to be at least one ham radio in that booth, maybe more than one, along with the other stuff that I'm bringing.
Well,
So
that's cool. That's cool.
Also, and I can talk more about this later, there's also an event going on where I'm trying to get a clean sweep again. If you this week and next, if you come across a station with the call K2 something, it is probably part of this event. This is the 13 colonies event. They have one station in each state for each of the original 13 colonies, and then they have 3 bonus stations: one in England, one in France, and one in Philadelphia. And so I'm going to be trying to sweep that in between all the other things I'm doing.
Okay. Well, that sounds interesting to be able to do that. And this event in the park is not a ham radio type event. It's just a 4th of July celebration, right?
It's a big party. They have bands. Okay. All sorts of community groups have booths, and I am a candidate for the local city council, and that's going to be one of the themes of my booth. I'm going to have literature and flags, and I'm going to be handing out water to the thirsty masses with a little label on it telling them, vote for me.
Well, and I tell you, just a couple hints. If you really want to get elected, get you one of those top hats with the red and white stripes on it, and get your shirt, red, white, and blue, has some stars on it. Look like Uncle Sam, man. And you'll probably get elected. Now, here's a problem. What nights do the city council meet?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. They meet. They meet right now on Tuesday nights.
Oh boy.
They meet on a different night, but we'll have to see. I may not be on the webcast as often if that happens, but we'll see what happens.
Well, if you get elected, maybe you can have them move the date to a different day or something. I don't know,
Well, I've been telling them that for years because all sorts of things meet on Tuesday nights. All the fraternal organizations meet on Tuesday nights. A lot of the time, the Ham Club here, the local radio club, meets on Tuesday nights. Everybody meets Tuesday, and so they really should change for that reason alone.
All right. Well, hey, we'll talk about the event behind you there in your background. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. So let me think just a little minute here. What we want to do first? I'll tell you about the secret project I worked on. I get that out of the way, guys. Let me get it right here. See if I can show you what I was doing. I don't know if you can make that out or not. Can you guys have any idea what I'm doing here?
Digging for gold?
No, I'm digging for gold, man. And it was hard. It was like 107 degrees. Humidity was like 89.99. And it was tough out there. Plus, I had to lay on the ground and stick my arms down in there to get to where I was having to get to. I guess second or probably first. I had a leak in the pipe. And I couldn't tell where it was. So I had to do quite a bit of digging to find where the leak was. And I finally found it. It's down in here, and that's a couple feet deep right there. It doesn't really look like it, but you can see. You can see I found some pipes down there. There's a bunch of pipes going all different directions, but I found the leak. It had a little hole. It had a hole in the bottom side, about like an ice pick hole. And man, it was spewing water out like crazy, man. In fact, it blew a hole in the ground under that. It must have washed out a major hole underneath that pipe, because when I sawed that piece out, when I cut that bad spot out, I was going to look at the piece I cut out, and I was going to look at the hole because the hole was on the bottom side. I couldn't see it. I could just feel it. But I dropped it. When I cut it, it dropped, and I stuck my arm down in that hole right there. I stuck my arm down as long as I could get it, man, and I still didn't touch the bottom. So, man, I don't know, man. That thing must have went to China. But anyway, so a lot of digging, a lot of heat stroke to get to that point. I found the leak. I dig me out a 1-inch coupling, and see the pipe here where it's white on the end. Boy, the coupling just slides right on it, right? And the pipe on the little purple edge there, that was the same pipe, But guess what? The coupling wouldn't slide on it. It would not go in. I don't care how much you forced it on there. I held it up there, and I took one of these rubber hammers. I tried to drive it on there just to see if I could get it on there, and it would not go on there. I sanded it and I filed it, and I took sandpaper around it, and it would not fit. It must have been warped or something pretty bad. But it slid over the other side fine. So I thought, okay, and what you're not seeing here, that purple goes into a T, and then that T goes 2 different directions, and it's not very visible here, but I took this at an angle way back from the sidewalk. You can see a little bit of the sidewalk here on the left edge. That sidewalk is almost directly over that T right there, which was going to make it difficult if I had to dig it out. And, it ain't no fun to replace the T and get all the fittings in there and all that. So I said, okay, one last thing, man. So I went and got my torch, and I said, okay, I'm going for broke here. So I take my torch, and I heat that end there where it's purple. I heat it up. This is PVC pipe, and I know I don't want to melt it, so I'm going to go light. I'm going to go really light, man. So I take my torch, and I go around that thing a few times, turn the torch off. I take the fitting. And man, that fitting slides on there like it has baby powder on it, man. It slid all the way up to the T right there. But then it wasn't purple anymore. It looked like charcoal, man. I mean, it looked bad. I'm thinking, okay, this cement glue, it's not really glue, it's, Brett, you can tell us what it is. It melts the plastic, I'll call it cement. But I after I heated it, it looked burned almost. I'm thinking, man, I don't know if this stuff's going to really, stick to it well or not. So I doped it up good with a cleaner. I doped it up really good with the cement, and that sucker slid right on. And then I pulled that other pipe into it there, and bingo, it was fixed. But you can see I had some help out there. I brought out Big Bertha fan right there to try to keep me cool right there. I had a little bit of shade, but man, what a job.
You know what bothers me, Tom?
What's that?
In your initial shot, you had some kind of package there laying on the sidewalk. Yeah, it looks like you're burying the neighbor's dog or something like that.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to tell you what went in the hole.
Yeah,
after I closed it back up, man. I got some moles out there I wish I could throw in there, but if I can never catch them.
I got a couple too.
Yeah. I got some good traps though for moles. I usually can catch them. But anyway, that's hey guys, that's what I did all day Sunday afternoon and probably Saturday looking for the fart there.
Those are fun.
All right. Well,
You did a good job there. Although that purple is the primer.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And
it's actually
well, actually, it may not be. I mean, I've got both purple and I got the glue, but I've also bought the glue that had purple in it. Now, maybe they put primer in with the glue. I don't know.
Well, they make the waterproof version, and that's that.
Yeah.
Or purple color.
Yeah. But I was thinking maybe that was what was keeping it from going on, but that wasn't it, man. I tried to sand that off, and it just, man. It was like the pipe was 2 millimeters bigger than the coupling I was trying to slide on it, man.
Well, the purple stuff softens it and it makes it swell, and so the purple was there, if the purple was there before you started, it could be that it was a little bit misshapen to begin with. So you may
Yeah. See, the purple was on there. That I didn't put that purple on there. That was from a previous gluing, and I thought, well, maybe the purple's what's making it not fit. So I thought, okay, if I could sand that off or something, it'd probably slide on. But boy, it would not go. Anyway,
At least you got it.
Anyway, guys, hey, you know, if you do electronics, you know, current goes through wires. You've got switches that turn the current on and off. It's no different with water pipes. You got water pipes. You got water that goes through them. You got switches that cut it on and off. So, you know, it all comes together here, man. If you're good in electronics, you'll make a good plumber. Is that right, Glenn? You make a good plumber. Now,
I don't know. I'm not that good a plumber.
yeah. You know, hey, the other problem I had there, guys, I have so many plants and stuff out there. I had so many roots I was trying to dig through, and I'm talking 1-inch roots, man. The shovel would not go through them. So I was constantly having to cut roots out. In one place in there, I had a root that was probably 3 or 4 inches in diameter, right over one of the pipes, man. I just left that sucker in there.
Well, I do have a construction tip for beams and stuff.
For
as for
beans or
tape up.
beans? Beans?
Beams, as in HF beams.
Oh, I thought you meant beams like
No.
pork and beans.
No. As we were taking down my 3-element beam, and of course taking it apart so it can be transported, it seems like they used a predominant amount of slot head screws. And when those have been in the air for 12 plus years, screwed into a phenolic block that's holding the element off of the boom, you pretty much can't get them loose without stripping them. So my advice is, whenever you build a beam and they send you slot head screws, put them off to the side and go buy you some Phillips or some hex head bolts
Yeah.
and use them instead, so you can get some torque on that thing and hit them with WD-40 and get them off.
Yeah. Well,
Because it took us probably 3 hours in that heat to get 4 screws off so I could disassemble the
hey,
elements.
what day was that you took that down?
Saturday.
Oh, it was hot Saturday, man.
And that was just so hot. I had to come inside a half a dozen times because it was just so
Yeah,
hot.
the Weather Service issued a severe warning here for the heat.
I feel
okay.
sorry for the guys up on the tower, but man,
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, you could light a match off the tower.
Wow. Anyway, yeah, I agree with you about those screws. I use hex heads. Sometimes they do have slots in them too, but I always get the hex head sheet metal screws.
Yeah, definitely worth doing in the future.
Mark says he was asking LMR 400 roots. Well, I want to tell you, in every trench with a pipe, you also have a cable. You have a buried cable that takes voltage to all the valves for all the different sprinkler heads. And that cable is really some tough stuff, and it's probably 3/8 of an inch diameter, and it's like 15 conductor. And what they do, they run that from your control box out, and then each zone picks off one wire, but they run it through there, and that wire is really it's solid. It's hard to splice. It's a mess down in a hole. So I had to be careful. A couple of these roots look like the cable. I did find the wire, and I was lucky I didn't cut it. All right, well, that's enough of that. All right, hey, let's. Hey, why don't we, Brett? Go ahead and talk to us about the event coming up. Let's do that.
Okay, well, it's actually already going.
Oh,
It's
okay.
called the 13 Colonies Special Event, and the goal is again to commemorate the 4th of July and also to honor veterans. And what they do is they set up a station in each of the 13 original colonies. And so they have K2A, K2B, all the way through K2M. New York, Virginia, Pennsylvania, all of the original states, and they usually work pretty much all modes. I've been able to do a sweep using just FT8, but they're also working SSB phone. They're working CW. There's lots of ways to do that. And then they have some bonus stations which aren't required for you to get a clean sweep. Sometimes they don't operate continuously. And this time the 3 bonus stations are one in England, one in France, and one in Philadelphia. And if you want to find out more information about the event, go to 13colonies.us. That's the URL where they have the website, and they give you details on how to work all the stations and how to pick up QSLs from all of them, how to get a certificate when it's all over that says that you worked the stations. It's just a lot of fun, and it's a good thing to do this time of year. Some of them could be quite a challenge. Some of them get terrible pileups, and you need to wait until the pileup dies down a little before you can get through. But I've done it most years.
So, and how long does this contest run?
It runs from July 1st, so that was yesterday, to July 7th, and so you have 7 days to work all the stations.
All right. Well, I think this weekend we're going to go to North Carolina, to our home in North Carolina, and I'm taking my rig over there, so maybe I'll work some of them. I'll put my portable antenna up and operate portable and do a little operating over there. And we're going to get out of Dodge here. It's 100 plus here. It's 78 in the mountains, so we're going to go over there for a few days. Probably the show next week, guys. We'll be using the other app that we use that works a little differently than this. So, the show's going to look different next week. But very good. And do you normally get a clean sweep?
Yes, I have the certificates on my wall. I frequently do it. The state that you're going, the Carolinas, of course, are original states. So you'll be in one if you try to work it when you go there. I don't know if you have a good HF rig where you're going.
Yeah, I have HF with me.
Yep. Then you should be able to do it.
All right. Well, all right. And hey, I'm planning on just kicking back out there and put the feet up on the table on the porch and making contacts all day, every day, all bands. So, guys, watch for me. And let me also say this: I will post in Facebook when I'm on live and when I'm on and what frequency. So maybe we can hook up with some of you guys while I'm operating portable over in North Carolina. All right, well, very good. Looking forward to that, and good luck on your sweeping all the stations there.
Yep, I'm going to sweep all the stations and also hopefully give away a lot of water to thirsty people. We'll see. The
All
park
right.
is always fun. A lot of towns do this. Laramie really just pulls out all the stops. It's one of the biggest events of the year. It's also a dog show.
A dog show.
Oh, well, it's not officially a dog show, but everybody brings their dogs.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so you could, every possible breed, anything any kind you want to see. You're thinking about getting a dog. Everybody brings them all the time. So we're gonna have dog treats there too.
All right. Well, good. All right. Very good. Let's do this. Let's check in our. Let's check and see. Look at our veteran pictures here, and see what we got on our pictures here. Who sent something? Maybe we got some late submissions. We'll see. Let me bring up the. Let's see here. Hang on a second. Okay. All right. So, of course, today, let me bring this up here. This is not quite the 4th yet, but this is our 4th of July Independence Day show, guys, and we're here. We're paying a tribute to all our veterans out there, whether you're a ham radio or not. But I thought it would be kind of cool to find out, and just interface with and talk with some of our viewers that are also veterans. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to try to pull them up on the screen here, and we'll talk about it. Let's see. Now, they were posted in a couple of different places, so it's going to be a little difficult for me at times. But now here's a picture that Thomas David Hood sent me, and he said here, let's see what he said. Each one have a picture. These are from my time in the Army Signal Corps. Okay. Anyway, there he is right there. I'm not sure why he's dressed like that, but I was looking also, and my question was, why is Jennifer Nettles not with him? That was my question. So why is Jennifer Nettles not with him? Okay, let's see. We got a different picture of him, though. You can never tell he's in the military there. I didn't have a hat like that. But here he is again right here. U.S. Army Signal Corps back in the 80s. That was a field exercise, and they were bored, so they put camo all over their face in different places. See what it said here. Painted our faces. Well, me like a famous rock star from the 70s, rock band with 4 letters in their name. Okay. Well, hey, I understand the paint on there, but, what would have really made this stand out here, Thomas, if you had shaved your head in a mohawk. Now, if you put your hair into a mohawk and put that face paint on, that would be a cool picture there. I just saw on the History Channel some shows about our deploying all those people over, and what I'm trying to say here, I think the tooth medicine's getting me, man. So that's a pretty cool picture right there. Hope you didn't shoot anybody. Let me see what else we got here. Okay, there's a picture of me, early days. I'm eating some sea rations. That's about 1970, I believe, and I was out on a deployment somewhere, not sure where that was exactly. I was stationed at Altus Air Force Base out in Oklahoma, there in the 4th Mob, and our job would be to go out and set up a complete air base somewhere in the boonies, whether it be out in the desert or anywhere. We would go out and we would set a complete air base up. We'd take communications, we'd take radar, we would put in the runways, we had radio communications vans, we took everything, We would convoy out there in massive convoys, and we would actually sleep in our tents there, So let's see what we got here. There's Mario Vela, U.S. Army Artillery. He was Desert Storm, 1991. I imagine that could be hot. I didn't make it into Desert Storm. Well, that was way after my time, but I bet that was hot. And look at all the gear he's got on. I bet you Mario there was pretty hot there. I don't know.
Yeah, usually if they've got sand in a desert, it's hot.
Yeah. Hey, look, here's Ron Roman, late 90s, working the C-5A at Altus Air Force Base.
There you go.
That was one of my bases. I was stationed at Altus Air Force Base for 2 years. He's working here on a C-5. That was the world's largest plane, cargo plane, I guess we had, and I think there's a bigger one than that now, of course, but that was the biggest, and it's still pretty big. It will hold 6 Greyhound buses end to end. Let's see, I've got another picture, so let's see. I've got another picture of that somewhere. That's what the C-5 looks like. That was the C-5A. They've now gone through C-5A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I think they're up to M or something right now. This sucker's got 26 wheels on it. No, 28 wheels. And guys, I used to walk under this every morning when I'd go to work. And I want you to look at something. I mean, that tail right there is 65 feet in the air. Man, it is up there, Glenn. Is your crank up tower going to go that high?
No, I think I'm going to keep it around 40 feet.
Man, you need to get you a C5A. Look at that.
Yeah, get me a C5A and park it in my backyard.
You can just go up the ladder inside there, open the hatch on
Yeah.
top, weld your antenna mount on top there, and you'd have it made, man.
Get one of those rooftop tripod mounts on the top there.
That's right, man. So that's the C5A right there, and that was Ron Roman, the '90s. Okay, let's see what he's got here. Let's see. I think I just said him. Yeah, okay. Vince, how do you say it? Lascivio, senior. 1970 to 77, that's about when I was in 1970. Fixing radios.
You're going to need to center that picture.
Oh, yeah,
Tom.
I need to do that. Don't I? I need to fix that for sure. How'd that happen? Okay, I can fix that.
Well, you got off alignment when you had to show the full size of that
I can do that.
C5A.
Okay. So there's Vince right there. Look at all the gear he's working with, man. You know, that's some old stuff now. I got some old test gear like that right now. I finally moved to the attic. It is heavy and it is big. But you know what? Built under military government standards, that's some pretty good stuff even today.
Oh, yeah.
After all these years. But there he is working on radios, and hey, I think that'd be a good job, to tell you the truth. Warren Purcell, commissioning day in November 1984. I guess they commissioned, looks like a submarine. I don't know which one that is. I don't have any information on it. Warren, if he's in here, he can tell us more about it. Let's see. Okay, David there. David said he was in the first mob and he retired from the fifth mob. Oh man, I went to a combat and survival school that the fourth mob put on every year, and we had people from the first mob come and join us, and we shared that experience with the first mob. All right, so that's a cool submarine there. Ferry Holsderver, Browning 50, he said, 1987. Too much to tell. Not sure what's going on there. I don't know if that's Ferry behind the 50 cal or if he's driving. Don't have any idea, man. Here's a friend of mine from my hometown, Wilson, Arkansas. This is Bill, WZ5X, a friend of mine. He was my little town of 1,000 people. Bill actually was a ham before I was, but Bill's about 8 years older than me. I knew him. I didn't run around with him. Of course, he was an older guy. But I knew him. I kind of knew he was a ham. That's even before I got my license. And then I think when he graduated, he went off to college in Ann Arbor. He may have went directly into the Marines. I remember, I mean, he looks like a baby there. He doesn't look like a Marine, but I remember Bill telling me he went to the recruiter and wanted to join, and the guy says, "What do you want to be in?" And Bill says, I want to be in whatever's the shortest. You know, what's the least time?" The guy said, "Well, that'll be the Marines." And Bill said, "Okay, sign me up, man." So that was Bill. Bill lives out in North Carolina now. He used to live over in Arkansas there near me. Hey, here's Brent Gorley. Brent, here he is on the beach at the SF camp next to Marble Mountain, United States Marine Corps Airfield. 1967, I can tell you, hey, this is from last century. Those fatigues are the same color fatigues that I had. I mean, you know, we didn't have the neat camouflage stuff back then, man. I mean, you know, if we went anywhere, we had to go where it was green. That's all we had. So there he is right there. He said, I guess that's San Francisco. He said next to Marble Mountain. The Marble Mountain I know about is in Vietnam, but I did look it up. There is a Marble Mountain up in northern California. I guess that's near San Francisco. So there he is there on the beach. I guess that's the Pacific Ocean right there, and cool picture right there. Got his, let's see, yeah, Marine Corps. Now, you notice that shirt right there? They didn't issue us short sleeve shirts. We did that on our own. We would take that shirt and we cut the sleeves off. And especially when I was overseas, not only had the sleeves cut off, but we had everything tapered. We had downtown, you could go down, when I say downtown, you could go down to the grass hut, right outside the gate, and you could take your uniforms down there and say, hey, man, I want this thing tapered where I look like a movie star. And, man, they'd pull those sides in and they'd taper all that stuff, and they'd taper your pants, and they'd cut the sleeves off and all that. And, man, we had some good-looking tapered uniforms back then. So, Brett, and hey, thanks to everybody on here for serving. Thanks, Brett. Let's see. Do I have any more here? I don't know that I have any more. 2 comments. Don't want to miss anybody. No, I think that was it right there. I think that was it. So anyway, hey, thanks everybody for sending your pictures in, and thank you. And hey, I enjoyed my military years in the military. I really did. Maybe not so much when I was in, but looking back, I'm proud that I served there. And hey, it was a good job, actually, good job. And
They saw me coming and they canceled the canceled the draft.
Yeah, well, that's one reason they got me, the draft. And I was in college, my 3rd year in college, and all of a sudden, man, I get a 1A, and they said, we're coming for you next. And I said, no, you're not, man. You're not getting me. You're not getting me for 2 years. I'm joining for 4. And, man, I joined in the Air Force and ended up in this gung-ho 4th mob that we thought we were Army. I had M16s. We bloused our pants. We slept in tents. I mean, I went to survival school and all that kind of stuff. And but you know what? I look back at it. It was a good time. I don't have any regrets about going in, and it was cool. All right, so we're back now. Thank you, all you guys. Let's see. Let me look at the see if there's anything in the chat room here I should read. You guys keeping up with the chat room, I guess.
Well, it threw me out a minute or two ago, but I got in.
Yep. Okay. Let's see. I see AC5CM in there. He's my son. That's Chris. Let's see.
When you were in the 3rd herd, did you go overseas TDY?
What was that? Who? What?
When you were in the 3rd herd, this is from David, KJ4CMY.
3rd herd. I got to look at that. I don't know what he's talking
Maybe that's
about.
for somebody else.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. I was in the 4th mob. Let's see. Boy, there were a lot of comments there. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you were
I went the alternate route.
I think he's talking about the 3rd mob, probably. There's only 5 mobs in the world, so I think he's probably talking about the 3rd. I didn't have any experience with 3rd. I had experience. I knew the first mob and the 3rd and the 5th, and of course I was in the 4th. So I don't know what happened to the 2nd and 3rd. Don't know. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Maybe I just need to slap that. Maybe. All right, so let me
drink a really cold water.
Yeah, I drink it. It doesn't seem to bother me any. Okay, we talked about our veteran pictures. Let's see. Let me pull up one thing.
Well, next up would be Martin, probably.
What was it? Oh, Martin. Yeah, I'll talk about Martin in just 1 second.
No, they had something in between there, though, I think.
Well, I'm not going any order here.
I was just referring to your list at the opening of the show.
Yeah. So, okay. Okay. So, guys, we've been trying to do projects on the show, different projects from week to week, month to month, and one of the projects that I was wanting to do, I want to get on 6 meters again, and just be ready for 6. And there's this article from many years ago to build a 6-meter quad turnstile. Now, this quad turnstile actually gives you horizontal polarity, and it gives you omnidirectional polarity. But one of the key construction parts of this is that you needed some RG63 for the matching stub. The impedance of these loops are about 125 ohms. And guess what? The impedance of RG63 is 125 ohms. So they use this as a phasing harness between the two quad loops that are 90 degrees opposite of each other. So that makes it omnidirectional, and that's kind of cool. So that's a project that we'll have coming up here pretty soon. It's a pretty easy project to build. Some PVC pipe and just some wire and a piece of coax here, and so we'll be working on that soon. Now, one of the things I thought about doing before I found this, and if you guys remember, I couldn't find this. I knew I had some. Couldn't get it on the internet. Everybody was either out of it, or they wanted a terrible price. I found this on the internet. Somebody did have it, but for 10 feet they wanted $75 for
That's
10
insane.
feet. So anyway, I've got 6 feet here. That I had left over from last time. The project requires 49.1 inches, so I've got enough here to do that. So that's a project that's coming up here pretty soon. That's going to be the upcoming project, the 6-meter quad turnstile. That's cool. Hey, let's talk a minute. Let me give you an update from Martin Jew. Let's see with Martin Jew. Let me get everybody on here. Okay. I called Martin, and Martin does want to and will become a regular on our show here at some point. He's just so busy right now. He just doesn't have time to get in here with us. But it'll be cool to have Martin on the show. We had him, if you guys remember, several years ago. We had Martin quite a bit on here, and Martin knows his stuff. He taught this. He's an engineer, and he's come up with thousands of new products and things like that. So it's just fun talking to Martin, and we hope to have him on here. Now, MFJ Enterprises is such a large combination of many companies: Ameritron, Vectronics, MFJ,
Cushcraft, High Gain.
High Gain. I think there's 7 companies.
Yeah.
That it's so complicated, it's causing problems. He can't sell it to anybody. He just has not been able to. He just hadn't been able to break this thing apart and sell it. I mean, he'd love to sell it to somebody where it can keep going. All right, so he didn't know what's going to happen here. Martin is still going into the office every day. So I may drive down here one day and take Martin to lunch. Man, there's a great place to eat down here.
Oh, yeah.
Martin usually takes me to this place. I forget the name of it, but man,
I forget, but yeah.
It is
It's our turn to buy him lunch.
I'm gonna go down and buy Martin lunch, and then when I go back, I'll check out all the MFJ companies. Most of the buildings are pretty close side by side, except a couple of them. One of the problems, I mean, there's a lot of money in that thing, man. He has a lot of machinery. Over in the metal shop, there's all types of punches and bending and metal machines. He's got pick and place, the pick and place machines that put the parts on the board. He's got wave soldering machines. He's got a lot of machinery. I think when I think when his metal machine went bad about 2 years ago, he bought another one.
That's correct.
I think the metal machine cost him a little under $500,000, guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
it
was
was
an
it was like a massive amount of money, and when they got it, it wouldn't fit through the door.
Oh Lord.
It wouldn't fit. So I'm not sure how they got the thing in or whatever, but it was quite a job, you know. So anyway, you got all that equipment. He still has some people working on repairs. Carl on our Facebook group asked, he's got something in for repair. Guys, Martin said if you want to check on it, go to their website. Go to the website and call them. They're still answering the phone, or send them an email. And I asked Martin, I said, is the 800 number still working? And Martin did not know if the 800 number was not working or not. Of course, they have a local Mississippi number, 662 number. That should be on the website. But Martin gave me a phone number, and I put it in our Facebook group. And it's a 662 number that you can call if you want to get a status on something. So they do have a few people there working in the repair part, trying to do that. And they're trying to also reduce some of the inventory. They got a lot of stuff still in the inventory, so they're trying to move that. Man, I may just go down there in my pickup one day and
Yeah, pick me up a crank up tower while you're over there.
yeah, that would be nice. So might just ride down here one day. So anyway, that's the story with Martin with the MFJ, and I'm sticking to it.
Good to have him back. I miss hearing from him.
Yeah. Let's see.
Well, Martin knows everything. He's kind of been, a lot of industries have the one company that acquires others as they come up for sale, or the founders burn out, or their kids, or they are they ready to retire and their kids don't want to take it over. Like Symantec in the computer industry, they seem to get all the software companies. But now I'd love to see Martin pass on the torch. I don't want to see all those companies that he accumulated die.
No, he saved so many companies through the years, and got them under one roof. But I mean, look at, like I say, the High Gain, the Mirage, the Hustler, the Cushcraft.
Well, I want to, a lot of people over the years have complained about quality. I think some items are good quality, some are lesser quality, but he also puts them out at a pretty good price, and products that you just don't see other people putting out. So we thank Martin for doing that. Now,
well, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Let me speak to this, if you don't mind.
yeah,
I've got a perfect testimonial for this. I mean, I bought one of the original cobweb antennas and then added on the 40-meter, the 30 and 40-meter extension.
the cobweb. I got a picture here of your cobweb.
There you go.
There's your cobweb. There's his cobweb antenna, guys. Take a look.
But, I've had that up in the air since he was selling those. What is that, 6-7 years or more?
I don't know.
We pulled
Yeah.
it down the other day. Every screw came loose without any effort. And nothing was loose, of course, but every screw came loose. I was able to disassemble it. The fiberglass poles were showing weathering, but no damage. They've been out in the sun for those 6-7 years. Not a darn thing wrong with that, other than the wire, which I had just restrung it not long ago. And the reason the wire didn't do so well was because my neighbor's pine tree kept dropping limbs on it and breaking it, not so much
That'll do
the
it.
quality of the
That'll do it.
antenna. So I will speak to the quality of that particular product.
Well, and I want to say one thing. I've got MOT products. I'm happy with them. And
Yes.
if there's a screw loose in one of them, tighten it. Or put it back in.
Exactly.
But let me tell you something. I bet you there are not many. There are hams all around the world. Martin is worldwide. He has distributors overseas, and the point I was going to make is, I bet you just practically every single ham in the world has at least one MFJ item. I don't know.
I've got 3 MFJ watt meters, a Mirage amplifier, and his tuner extender within an arm's reach right here.
All right, now, I'm going to do, I mean, this is not going to prove anything, but hey, chat room, guys in the chat room, are any of you guys out there, do any of you guys not have something from MFJ? I don't care if it's a antenna or a watt meter or, I don't know. Does anybody in the chat room not have something from MFJ? Let me know. You're unusual ham if you are, and we're not gonna criticize you if you don't. In fact, I might send you something. I might send you an
There you
MFJ
go.
product. Yeah.
When I got my ticket, I was immediately given MFJ gear, so
Yeah.
right away.
Well, a lot of the gear is affordable, and it gets people into the hobby. And yeah, Andy says he's had nothing but trouble with the ALS 600. I don't know. Well, Andy, don't know. Okay. I don't think I've had any problems with any of my MFJ products, amplifiers,
No, nothing
analyzers,
other than,
antenna analyzers, anything, antennas, nothing.
yeah, normal wear and tear, age possibly, but oh, and that was the other thing coming down from the top of the tower.
Uh-huh.
It's a 2 meter 440 vertical that looks as new as the day I bought it and put it up 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And also my 6 meter 2 meter 440 beam, the Cushcraft, I forget what they call that. But that thing came down, disassembled beautifully, and it was, again, looked as good as the day I put it up.
Yep.
So all I can say is, yes, they may have some quality issues from time to time, but you know what? By and large, it was the most affordable and, long-lasting good stuff as far as I'm concerned. I wish I could remember what that antenna was. It was like the
Yeah. Yeah.
6240 or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. Hey, we'll be back in 1 minute, and we're gonna look at let's look at this LC tuner project we did for the show here. We'll be right back, guys. Don't go away. We'll be back. Upgrade your station with one of ICOM's fabulous HF radios. With the IC7610, faint signals are no longer challenging for DXers or contesters. High performance RMDR can pick out the faintest signals, even in the presence of stronger adjacent signals. This is the SDR every ham wants. With ICOM's IC905 mobile, VHF contesting is a breeze. This is an all-mode rig covering 5 bands with one radio. 2 meters, 70 centimeters, 1.2 gigs, 2.4 gigs, 5.6 gig, and with the optional CX10. All right, we're back, and let's see. Hey guys, we had a project we started out kind of a show. I do more building and playing around with electronics stuff than I do operating. I want to get back to operating. I really do. I miss it. Been a ham for over, how many years now? 60 years. Been a ham now for 60 years. Boy, I had to do the math.
Yeah,
I want to get back and start operating.
you get to that point and you're taking off your shoes still doesn't give you enough digits to count.
Yeah, I know. Well, so I like to build simple projects and show people simple projects, things you can do. Of course, antennas are really easy to build, man. You don't have to have insulators for antennas. Man, cut you a broomstick off and drill 2 holes through it. You don't want to go to that trouble? Hey, tie a loop on the end of the wire and tie a rope in it. That's an insulator. Man, I have not used insulators in a long time, you know.
Yeah, my first antenna that I built was a 2-meter beam built on a chunk of 1x2 with coat hanger elements.
Well, that's right. A 1x2 piece of wood and some clothes hangers stuck through it. There you go. That's how easy it is. Let's talk about the antenna matching device here. People say, well, you know, tuners don't tune antennas, tuners don't match antennas. I'm not going to get into all that. Whatever you want to call it, tuners do work. They do match the impedance where you can get more power out into the antenna. If you didn't have that tuner there, you're not going to get power out to the antenna, and you're not going to just get any power out the antenna. Plus, your probably radio isn't going to be any good very long.
You're going to damage the radio too.
So let's look at one of the simplest ham radio tuners for HF that you can build. And I've got some pictures here. And I've got the thing here. I'll hold it up. But let me just show the pictures first. So, and they're not in any order. I've got all kinds of parts laying around. I've got, hey, like this. There's a roller inductor I got. It was motor driven. I took the motor off of it. I just wanted to make a manual tuner. So I got me an inductor. That's pretty nice. Got me an inductor. So,
That's one high wattage inductor.
this one what?
That is one high wattage inductor. That's real thick wire.
Well, you can tell me that again here in a minute. All right. So that's I got me a tuner there. I mean, I put one together on a board. Talk about pine board. Well, back years ago we used to build stuff on wood.
Exactly.
And basically here it is. I mounted a rotary inductor on a piece of wood. I mounted the capacitor there. And boy,
Why do you think it's called a breadboard?
Yeah, I even went fancy here with a switch. I put a switch in there that will flip that capacitor. It will flip that capacitor to either side of that inductor. In other words, it'll flip the capacitor from the input side of that inductor to ground, or it will flip that capacitor to the output side of that inductor to ground. And what that does, one position allows you to tune high impedance loads. You get into your high impedance stuff, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 ohms. And guess what? It won't tune low impedance, but flip that switch and it will now tune low impedance loads. Now, you don't have to put a switch in there. The LC network, if you just look at it, the LC circuit has an input and an output, coil in series, and a capacitor to ground. And depending on what side of the the inductor you put that on, your auto or your tuner then will tune high impedance or low impedance. So that's what I decided to do here. Make it really simple. I'll put a switch in there. Let's see. We'll look at a couple of different views here. There's a view from one side. You can see my input right there. Input. Let's see. Let's look at the back side. Look there. I got me just a piece of, I don't know what that is, some type of insulated material I screwed on the back of the board there. One lug there is ground, and one lug is the output from the coil. See, that black wire goes over the antenna lug. So you could attach you a long wire on there, or maybe a vertical on there, or a sloper on there, and it'll tune it. So there's another shot of it. Capacitor, switch, antenna terminals. Okay, there's a picture. What was that?
What kind of wire is that? Is that just 12 gauge house wire?
That's just 12 gauge, out of some Romex I stripped back. Yep, nothing special. Whatever you got. Whatever you got. So that is, let me just bring it up here. So this is it, guys. This is it. It is so easy. So easy to make. Man, it is so easy. And it'll tune anything, man. It's a manual tune. It's not automatic where you punch a button, but let me tell you, watch your SWR meter. You turn this a few turns, you see that SWR meter, man, take a dive like that, and then you hit it with a little bit of capacitance, and then you rock the inductor back and forth a little bit, and watch that SWR kind of go up and down and get minimum. Hit the capacitor one more time, and bam, you've got, let me tell you, you've got basically a 1-to-1 match. That's how good this thing is. Now, a lot of people don't have a rotary inductor. I mean, I had this in a junk box, rotary inductor. So what can you do? Well, let's look at this. Look at this one. Built up another one. Same thing, LC network, but look, no switch, but we have an alligator clip. We can either go to the one side of the inductor, or we can clip it to the other side of the inductor. Same thing, this takes the place of the switch. So look at this, and this is fairly well, this I think will run more power. You can see the spacing on the capacitor is a lot bigger. And look, the inductor, if you don't have a rotary inductor, wind you an inductor, and you could use Romex wire. Just cut the insulation back every turn and solder you a lug to it. And look at that. So I have taps on my coil here, and you can actually take the alligator clip, and by clipping on the taps right there, you're selecting the inductance. You can't roll it, but you're selecting it. And then of course you got your capacitor. So this is pretty wide spacing. Let's see, you can probably see that better. So, you know, this is again, same thing, very same thing. All right, now, you were talking about the heavy gauge wire. I'm thinking about building me up another one. Oh, I'm thinking about building me up another one. What do you think? What do you think, Brett? Now look at this wire. I mean, this is.
That's, and of course it has to be bare because you've got the roller running along it. So it just needs to be heavy. It just needs to be spaced out enough that it doesn't arc, and you should be good.
Yeah, they're spaced out, and I've got me a little capacitor, a little small capacitor I can put on there.
Yep.
So there you go, man, right there. I think I can handle some power with that. So again, an L network made out of that. I think it'll work the same, but it'll handle more power. Now, if you come back to, let me do this. If you come back to the original one we built here, this is actually probably good for about 300 watts at least. It's got some fairly good spacing here. These aren't real close together. And you know, I think the coil's pretty good. Probably see it better. But anyway, I think this is good for maybe you know, 200, 300, 350 watts. So,
Tom, my question is, how do you determine where you want to place the taps on that inductor, the non-roller inductor?
well, it doesn't make any difference. Just a bunch of taps, because you don't know what inductance you need. One antenna will have an impedance of 2,500 ohms. Another antenna will have an impedance of 1,400 ohms. I mean, this antenna is going to have a certain amount of capacitance. This antenna is going to be close to the ground. I mean, they're all going to be different. So you never know what capacitance you need. You just need a wide range. And particularly, you know, with the rotary inductor, it's kind of fine tuning. You can go through every tap like that. Now, I mean, every it's not a tap, but every position it hits on it is very minute. So the thing about the taps, you might not get quite as perfect match. Find you a tap where it's close and your capacitor brings the SWR down. You may come down to 1.3 to 1. That may be all you can get on that tap. Now, if you take your alligator clip off that tap and slide it around that coil a little bit, you'd probably bring that SWR down to 1-to-1, you know. But hey, if it tunes 1.3, that's okay, you know.
Well, see, that's the thing. A lot of people tend to obsess on SWR, and it's like, no, if it's below 3, you're pretty much okay. Yes, you want to get it down to 2 and below, but it's not a necessity, and you're not losing a whole lot of anything by having a mismatch like that.
Yep.
Having a tuner down below rather than right at the antenna feed point is already going to lose you some power because you are going to lose power at the feed point. But at least you can make the rig happy. You're
Right.
not going to blow out your finals, and that's what you really care about.
Well, I've got some tuners here that you would put inside the shack. I don't use those. I use an outside tuner. I use an auto tuner. I've got a 1.5 kW auto tuner by MFJ out at my antenna farm. So basically have a that's on my extended double ZEP. I got an extended double ZEP up about it's up about 80 feet, and it's 174 feet long. It's a doublet, and it's fed with open line. It comes down to that auto tuner. And then the auto tuner, of course, then I got LMR 400 from the auto tuner into the shack. So it actually tunes out there. It doesn't tune at the shack. You know, you can do some tuning through your coax, but you're tuning the coax, you're tuning everything. But, you know, the point, I guess, with that type tuner is to try to get some type low enough match and enough power transfer that, you know, it works. But your best antenna tuner location is going to be outside at your antenna. And you know, as I operate portable this week over in North Carolina, I'll take the SGC 237 auto tuner, and I'll throw me about a 70-foot piece of wire up over a tree limb. I'll set the SGC 237 right at the base of the tree, hook that antenna wire to the tuner, and I'll lay me out 3 radios just across the ground, probably about 50, 60 feet long. I'll just run them 3 different directions on the ground. And all you got to do, man, is hit that with just a few watts of power and click, 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 and you are tuned. And it is tuned really, really well down to a very, very low SWR. All right. So, hey, another project is that RF amp meter. You know, I told you sometimes your best power output is not at the lowest SWR. And that's why, for many years, the military and other people have used RF amp meters. And we're going to build an RF amp meter. I got me a little box to put this in today, and this is the pickup we're going to use. It's just a piece of coax with a little twirl around it and some turns on it. And we'll make an RF amp meter, and we will compare that with the SWR meter, so we will be able to see where we got the most power output, you know. All right, let's see, where did I do my paper? Let's see what we have missed here. Hey, Hamfests are coming up. Let's talk Hamfest real quick. We got the Shelby Hamfest coming up. Shelby. Right there, Shelby. That's coming up August the 30th. Actually, Huntsville, I think, is around the 18th. So we'll be going to Huntsville around the 18th. Spend a couple of days in Huntsville. From there, we'll drive over to North Carolina. We'll spend a few days at our house. And then from there on August 29th, we'll drive on over to Shelby, which is another 130 miles east of where we'll be. And that's going to be a good Hamfest. And this Hamfest used to pull 20,000 people back in the 90s. And It's not like that now, but I think it's going to be a good Hamfest. They do it up right there. So that's Huntsville coming up, Shelby coming up, and then this month, in just about 3 weeks, is the Greater Nashville Middle Tennessee Hamfest, Hamquest, July 20th. And Glenn's going, I'm going. I'll see you there, Glenn. And
Yeah.
we'll hopefully have a good time there. And let's see what else is happening here. So okay,
Tom,
Yeah.
are you be doing a forum at Huntsville?
no, I'm not, and I'm not doing one at Nashville, but I am doing one at Shelby.
Okay, because I'm checking to see if Bill Brown is doing one. I'm doing an Arduino forum at Huntsville,
Okay.
so I'll be doing that. I'm just looking at that right now as to see what we got going on.
Okay. Well, let me make a quick announcement here since we haven't done it much. We probably have probably got more people that have joined us here. They probably don't even know what they're looking at here. YouTube is still winning out right now. X is still winning out right now. Tell you the
Okay,
truth.
yeah, Bill Brown is doing a balloon sat forum,
Okay, cool.
and I'm doing an Arduino forum, of course.
Good, good.
Here's a good one that we might want to do. There's John Stensby, N5DF, is doing a calibrate your bird 43 watt meter. And then the Winter Field Day president is doing a forum. So it looks like there's going to be
That's cool.
some good new forums. Joe
Yeah.
Eisen is doing his kit building forum.
Yeah, that's good. Let's
So-
see.
Oh, here's a good one I got to go to. Lightning Research in Huntsville by Monty Bateman, WB5RZX. So looks like they're going to have some really good forums there at Huntsville this year.
Yeah, good. And it's going to be air conditioned.
Yes, it's all indoors. I don't care if it's 185 degrees
That's
outside.
right, man. You know, when it gets time for a snack, we'll just go outside and throw something on the pavement, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, they don't have the forum schedule up yet, but
Yeah.
yeah, definitely Bill's going to be doing a forum, and I'm going to be doing a forum. Joe Eisenberg's going to be doing a forum. And the one thing about Huntsville, they really do put together a good group of forums. They just go out and get some of the best presenters out there. I love going to see Joe Eisenberg and Bill Brown's forums when I can.
Yep. Well, again, guys, we're not going to be webcasting. We have made a decision to stop our Hamfest webcast because getting old here, and we want to enjoy. I haven't been able to enjoy a Hamfest in 20 years since we started webcasting. I want to walk around. I want to walk around and hack them. I want to buy stuff like this, and old stuff. Hey, I might buy me a couple of KWM2As. I love all that Collins equipment that ends up in Huntsville. I may buy me something like that. I have to make a place to set it, but I'm just, we're not doing it anymore. We're focusing on our show. We're going to try to build our show up. No more Hamfest. Now, we will take some video there, and we will show it on the show the Tuesday night following the Hamfest. So it'll give us something to talk about, our visit to Huntsville and Shelby and all those. So let me make a quick,
Tom,
go ahead.
I'm probably going over the day before, so maybe we could do a video like we did for Dayton.
To Huntsville?
To Huntsville, yeah, because it'll be about a 7-hour drive for me.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to do some informal videos as walk around different times.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But I
we can walk
wanted
around
to do
together.
something
Yeah. We
Want
can
to
walk
do
around
something
together.
on Thursday or Friday, whichever day I choose to go over. I did not get a room at the Embassy Suites,
Oh, man.
so I'm going to have to be down the road. So I haven't decided if I'm going over Thursday or Friday, but
Yeah.
if you guys want it, we can show the drive over to there from Arkansas.
All right. Just just real quick here, before I make this announcement, Brett, are you going to try to get there or not?
I am going to try to show up at Huntsville. I'll try also to show up on the mountain the day before the convention, because a whole bunch of hams like to congregate there. They like to activate. They like to do POTUS stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Some of them are doing primitive camping. I don't know if I will. I may just go ahead and rent one of the cabins up there. But it is great fun. There's a lot of camaraderie. They usually have a big cookout, and it's a good thing to do leading up to the convention.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Montesano is a cool place to go to. So yeah.
All right. Hey, we're coming close to the end of our show. Let me just make this announcement so we don't get cut off on the radio. You have been listening to Amateur Radio Roundtable, a show about ham radio, shortwave, electronics. I think I got yeah, there we go. Our show is also on WBCQ shortwave on 7490 out of WBCQ. 7490 Monticello, Maine is what I'm trying to get to. They got probably one of the world's largest shortwave rotatable antennas, and with the gain on that antenna, it's something like 20 gigawatts. I mean, it is powerful. We're on about every podcast carrier out there, from iTunes to iNet Radio, iHeart. I don't even have iHeart on here, I don't think. iHeart Radio, I just saw it yesterday. Everybody's starting to carry us, so you can download us, or you don't even have to download us. You can just listen there. And we're getting a lot of people also follow the show with just our audio only there. Join our Facebook group. Our Facebook group is called W5KUB. We've got about 14,000 members in that group now, and it's still growing. Would love to have you, and also, if you will, hit the subscribe button. You may not, if you're watching the show on W5KB, I guess you don't have a subscribe button down there. But if you click on, there's a little link under the show that says pop out. You can click on that, and that'll take you directly to a YouTube video, and you can hit subscribe there, I think. But there's a subscribe button on one of the links somewhere down here in the bottom right corner there. And would love to have you subscribe. Hit the notify button. We're going to start coming on some during the week. And if you hit the notify button, you'll know when we come on, because we're going to have some crazy things coming up here. And I was looking for another video, hey, I still got this DV Mega Cast. We'll talk about our online Hamfest here. I've still got my DV Mega up for sale if anybody's interested. This is an IP radio, no antenna connection. It's an IP radio. It connects either by Ethernet or it connects by Wi-Fi, and you can run D-Star, DMR, or Fusion from this radio here. You just use the stylus and you touch the screen to where you want to go. You can even run this mobile, man. If you got a hotspot in your car, your phone can be a hotspot. You can run this and have DMR and all that stuff in your car when you're traveling to the Hamfest if you want to. So if you're interested, shoot me a line, and be glad to talk to you about it. What else did I have here?
Well, I got a little bit of news, Tom.
What's that?
I got an email, was it yesterday yesterday, I believe, that Logbook of the World is now back online.
Yeah, I saw that.
Also, I got an email this afternoon from ARRL, and they are doing an article on one of my projects, the Bluetooth CW Keyer. They're going to be doing an article on it for QST coming up. And Elector is over in Europe is also going to be doing an article on one of my projects in their magazine.
Okay.
I still do not have any information on when that book is coming out. I was told 2 to 3 weeks after Dayton, and I'm sure it's 2 to 3 weeks after Dayton. So
yeah,
it could be out any day now. I was just talking to them the other day, and it's not out yet. But so there will be some magazine articles in QST and Elector magazine. And then I've got the review of that radio builder that I
Oh, yeah,
showed last
yeah.
week that we unpacked.
Cool.
I cannot wait to get into that thing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
but there's going to be a bunch of stuff from me in QST soon too.
All right. And we still have plenty of the long-range soldering guns in stock if you guys are interested. I can get you one for $299.
I actually
Just,
need one.
Just send me a note. I can get you I'll give you a discount, $299, and we'll throw in shipping free.
There you go.
All right, guys, it's time for us to say good night to everybody. Hope you enjoyed the show. I don't know if my tooth's going to hurt anymore or not. It's kind of a little bit hurting. I don't want to rub any more of that stuff on there, man. That stuff made my lip go to sleep.
Yeah, that'll put you out, man.
I mentioned this in the chat. You know what they used to use for that long ago to
Well-
get rid of toothaches after things were cold?
What was that, a hammer?
No, it was cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
First medical use of cocaine.
But I
Yeah,
don't think
yeah,
Tom
yeah.
has any of that laying around.
Well, I don't know. I'm hoping that it clears up. I kind of doubt it's going to. I don't know.
Those things usually don't get better.
It may end up into a root canal. I never had a root canal, but
Yeah, I've had several.
man, hey, I don't want that to happen.
Could just be a minor infection. They may just need to give you some antibiotics.
Well, we'll see. We'll see, man. All right. Good night, everybody out there in the chat room. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. We really had a good time. And talk to me on HF this week. Check our Facebook group out. I'll be on Facebook, and I'll post the frequencies where we'll be, and we'll talk to you from North Carolina. 73. Good night to everybody.
Good night.
All right. All right. Good night. We'll see.